woman with 10 brains, Mr. Collins.
Say, if he found a woman with one, that'd be a novelty in itself.
Yes, Gay. I ran it to earth in Wiesbaden. I don't know if you're acquainted with that town, Mike. It forms a center for some of the most interesting places in Germany. On the Rhine to the north lies the western capital, Bonn, with its white steel and concrete Bundeshaus, or Parliament building. Beethoven was born in Bonn, but easily the town's most beloved citizen is the Brückenmensch, or little man on the bridge. The townsfolk wanted to build a bridge over the Rhine to Böhl. The people of Böhl wouldn't pay 1 penny towards it. In revenge, some humorist carved the Brückenmensch, and when the bridge was opened, there he was, presenting his posterior in a gesture of unmistakable contempt to the stingy folk of Böhl. This reproduction has been placed outside a nearby cafe. Further down the Rhine is the scene of a grim legend which some claim to be true. It concerns the bad Bishop Hatto of Bingen, who lived many centuries ago. During a famine, the bishop promised corn to the hungry people who crowded inside his barn. He closed the doors and set it on fire. Swarms of mice emerged from the burning building, and the bishop fled in terror to his castle in the middle of the Rhine. But the mice swam the river, and the starving people were avenged. The little town of Bad Dürkheim is the oldest wine-cultivating community in Germany. Acres of vineyards surround it on every side, and a local vintner, Fritz Keller, decided that something would have to be done to make plain to the world Bad Dürkheim's preeminence in all that concerned the grape. First, a conventional statue typifying the grape gatherer was erected, but Fritz Keller longed for something much more original than that. The great idea came when he was visiting the site of the annual Sausage Fair, which is, in spite of its name, the principal wine festival in the country. He'd build the biggest barrel the world had ever seen. Built in 1933, it is 50 feet long and 42 feet in diameter. It can hold over 3 million pints. The bunghole alone holds over 5,000 pints. Inside the barrel, a restaurant seating 500 people has now been built. The entrance fee is 6pence, and that price includes a glass of wine. At the rate of 3 pints a day, it would take a man 3,000 years to drink the barrel dry. The restaurant has been built on 3 floors. The ground floor houses the Weinstube, where wine and grape juice are sold. The middle floor is a dining hall, specializing in local dishes. While on the balcony, light music is played and guests may dance. Diogenes lived in a tub, but this was the first time I'd ever met anyone who lived inside a barrel. I asked the proprietor and his son Willie how it felt, and they said, "It's a little bit like being a salted herring, but if you do get thirsty, there's always plenty of wine." The town hall of Ulm is painted all over like a picture book. On one wall is a famous astronomical clock. A supply center during the war, the raids miraculously missed the cathedral, the building of which was begun in 1377 and was only finished 60 years ago. Bomb damage has left some picturesque, though grim, effects. Ulm's chief claim to fame is that it possesses by far the tallest cathedral spire in the world. 528 feet high, there are 768 steps leading from the ground up to the spire gallery, from which may be seen on a clear day the chain of the Alps. Whoops! Don't fall into the Danube. and so the tallest spire in the world stands beside the longest river in Europe. Wiesbaden has been famous for its hot springs since the days of the Romans. Popularized by the late Kaiser William, the town has beautiful English-style parks with great trees, active fountains, and green lawns. All the luxuries of a fashionable center are here. Expensive shops and bright modern cafes fringe the Wilhelmstrasse, named for Wiesbaden's greatest benefactor. But modern Wiesbaden can boast of something else. It is the home of the world's biggest cuckoo clock. The builder, Emil Kronenberger, conceived his big idea when he made this smaller model as a showcase for a local firm. So from this has grown this. The clock dial is 7 feet across. Everything is hand-carved. Inside the clock is a shop which sells souvenirs and, yes, cuckoo clocks. Every half hour, a crowd gathers to wait for the appearance of the cuckoo itself. The world's biggest cuckoo clock is shortly to be shipped to America, and when it goes, it will leave behind many sad little hearts. But I had come to Wiesbaden in search of something quite different. I was looking for a woman of whom the Russian writer Maxim Gorky once said, "Genius or phenomenon." I believe she is both. For in this beautiful city lives Thea Alba, the woman with 10 brains. Kaiser William said to her, "Madam Alba, you are a whole secretariat in yourself." And President Wilson, after seeing a demonstration in Washington, gave for this billing matter. Whatever else you miss, don't miss this week. Here then is the actual demonstration I conducted in the Kolping House. When you were at school, did you ever try to do 2 different things at the same time? For example, it's easy enough to do this with the right hand in a forwards direction. And it's easy enough to do this with the left hand in a backwards direction. But try doing both together, like this, and you'll run into trouble. I can't do it at all. I'm going to introduce you to a woman who can not only do that trick, but a lot more besides. She's known as the woman with 10 brains. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce Thea Alba. Can you guess what this is? No? I'm not surprised. Think it over while you're watching. Now Thea is going to write 2 different things at the same time, one in French and the other in Italian. Thank you, Thea. there is joy in art, union is strength. Thea can write with both hands at once in any major language or combination of languages. Let's put her to the test. Thea, I would like her to write in Persian and Arabic and Chinese and Japanese. A man should talk well, think well, and work well. Say nothing evil about your fellow men, and your life will be blessed. A good heart is worth more than a pretty face. The sun shines on all the peoples of the earth. Wealth may be found in every nook. Now, Greek and Latin, left to right, Turkish and Hebrew, right to left, and Russian and English, left to right. Experience teaches. There is truth in wine. Allah, a conventional greeting. Luck and blessings upon all your paths. Life takes its own course. Words pay no debts. Have you guessed what these are yet? You haven't? Never mind, you soon will. Now Thea is going to write with both hands and her mouth. Thank you, Thea. Thea used to write with her feet as well, but she gave it up because she felt it was a little lacking in dignity. Now the mystery of the strange objects will be revealed. Thea uses these long holders for her multiple writing. First she will write with 6 fingers. Thea was born in Berlin. Her extraordinary powers were not discovered until she attended a school of drama. During the holidays, some of the pupils were trying to see if they could perform contrary movements with the hands and feet. Thea was the only one who could do it. This gave her the idea for her present demonstrations. Her next demonstration has taken Thea many years to perfect. Don't be afraid, she's only limbering up. Now you will see why she is called the woman with 10 brains. She will write 10 different things at the same time. Thea Alba is the only person ever known to have accomplished this feat. Note the amazing control Thea has over all the separate movements. The power of concentration required to manipulate 10 pieces of chalk at the end of 10 long pointers and write a different figure with each is tremendous.
The very woman I've been looking for to help me fill out my income tax forms.
That is an idea, Mike.
Well, Pete, where are you off to next?
Austria. My good friend Reo is due to come out of his bottle in 5 days' time.
I thought you just said, my good friend Reo is due to come out of his bottle in 5 days' time.
That is exactly what I did say. He's been in there for a year, all but 5 days. If you want to see how he eats, exercises, and sleeps, all inside the bottle, drop in when I get back.
I'll be here.
Good.